What's good, YouTube? How's everyone doing? Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to yet another reaction video. If you're new here for the first time, my name is TMR, and since you clicked on this video, you might as well subscribe to this YouTube channel, and please make sure you click the notification bell and make sure you give me a big thumbs up and also leave your comments down below. All right, you guys, it's official. Lily has finally spoke out. Now we're going to get into Lily's commentary, her most latest video, the part 2 to her Q&A. Okay, so Lily did a 2-part. She did one the other day where it was the live and the questions that were asked in the live. The live she did on Instagram, and then today she dropped the part 2, basically answering more questions and then now giving her conclusion to this whole the relationship saga. So as I give this commentary, you guys, my voice is going to sound a little different because I have gotten sick, but I've been waiting to hear about Lily and I wanted to wait. I actually had a video to talk about Hazel. Lily mentions Hazel. If you guys don't know who Hazel is Lily's best friend. Y'all, we know all the best friends have spoke out. We know Keisha's best friend, Brittany, has spoke out. We know that now Lily's best friend, Hazel, has spoke out. But y'all, where is Jeremy? Where is Jeremy's best friend? Bestie, Jeremy's bestie? Sir, where are you at? Because we haven't heard from you yet, since all the best friends are speaking out in behalf or on behalf of the parts of this whole story. But y'all, the pieces of the puzzle has finally came together. And I will start off by saying this. I liked Lily's demeanor in the whole video. You know, what it sounded like to me, and I'm going to kind of paraphrase what's going on in this video that Lily did. And what it sounded to me was Lily, she said it in the video, you guys, she met Jeremy back in his college days.
How did I meet my son's father? I met him through a mutual friend, actually. I think he was like when he was back in school, in college. Him and my friend were chit-chatting and they had fell off. And then, you know, as time goes on, they live their lives. And she had, you know, came across him again and invited him over to my house to come smoke and chop it up with us. And that was when I like officially like really met him for real, and had my own conversation with him.
Okay, because if you don't know, Jeremy played ball in Illinois, and Lily is from Illinois. She said that her and Jeremy met through a mutual friend of both of theirs from the college days. That's now official, okay? She said in the video, you guys, that her and Jeremy kind of lost contact. The best friend, her friend, their mutual friend, got in touch with Jeremy, and Jeremy came over, and basically they had a little smoke fest with each other at Lily's house. Now, the part that I didn't understand was if it was when Lily said her house, was she meaning her house in Chicago or her house in Atlanta? Because we know the video today, Lily's back in her hometown of Chicago, and she currently lives in Atlanta. So in that video, Lily basically told her side. She didn't go into a lot of grave details, and basically she said in the video that the story, the whole Cue the Relation pamphlet booklet, was something that she was made aware of, but she did not know that she was going to be mentioned. She did say if her son was going to be mentioned at all, that she wanted to read that part before the book was put out, and she did not get the opportunity to do that.
My answer to that is I was involved in a very unpleasant situation, and 4 or 5 months ago. And from that, it's been a lot of commotion, a lot of talking, not from me per se, but just from a lot of different people. And I just feel like I you need to speak up. You know, I wanted to stay out the way, just keep living my life. I didn't want to be associated with this, even though I am associated with it, but I didn't want to publicly, have to deal with it just because I'm a private person, or at least, like I said, I try to be. That's how everything played out. At this point, it really was no way around it. I didn't really have a choice but to really come out and kind of say my piece. Like I said, it's been a lot of people who have been speaking on the situation, and I just feel like I don't need anyone to speak for me. I'm tired of people speaking on me, about me, to me indirectly, and constantly just dragging this whole situation out. I'm definitely ready to keep moving forward. I'm definitely ready to just kind of close this chapter and start a new book. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just gonna keep it real with y'all. Like, I'm drained. I'm tired. Like, talking about this situation, it's not fun at all. I honestly don't even really know where to begin. I guess I'll begin with the fact that the ball was in their court. Once I told them I was pregnant, I told them that however they need to go about it, like if they choose to, bring it to you all, however y'all gotta go about it, like, that's y'all's business, you know what I'm saying? Because I know that the platform was under her, and that, they were concerned about, well, if we have to vlog and this, that, and the third, how are we going to do it around the baby? And I left the ball in their court. I just said, keep me out of it. Like, I don't care to say anything. I'm not going to tell you got to hide your child, from the world. I'm definitely not going to say that, but just keep me out of it. And against my wishes, that's not what happened. And I'm just here to address the fact that yes, I knew about a book, but it was also told to me that the book was supposed to be strictly about just their lives. And that towards the end of the book, they were going to somehow incorporate that, August was here. I was told that they weren't going to say his name, but I was just told that that's how they were planning on introducing it, just putting it at the end of the book. Mind you, when I was told this, I had just had a 4-hour conversation with her. And this was the first time we had ever spoken officially. So at that moment, when I was told this, I'm processing our 4-hour conversation. I'm processing how I'm feeling prior to the conversation, during the conversation, after the conversation. I'm processing what's possibly to come, and then, everything else in between. And once I processed, I definitely contacted his father, and I was like, I was heated. I was like, yo, why am I hearing about a book and not from you? Like, I don't get that. And, he gave me this whole spiel about, oh, it's really not like that. It's strictly about me and her life. And, we're not even going to say his name, and we're not going to talk about you at all. I'm like, okay, that's cool. But in that same sentence, I also said, anything that's said about my son, I want to be able to read it, because I feel like, you're speaking on him. And I told Jeremy that I feel like it would be out of respect. And, he was like, yeah, I get that. 2 days before the book comes out, I get a text from her asking me, like, you know, about a mental check, like, you know, checking in to see how you're doing, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't take nothing of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, at that point we were somewhat on decent pages. August had maybe came around a couple of times. But yeah, like I really wasn't thinking anything of it. And then a few days later, the book drops, and you know, I'm kind of reading some of the comments. I'm trying not to get too involved into it. You know, like I just wanted to see what people had to say about my son.
So what it sounded to me, you guys, like what we have already discussed, is that Jeremy and Keisha conspired together to do this book. More on the influence of Keisha, because we know now, watching Keisha, we know Keisha is all about how people are perceiving her, okay? So we know that Keisha, once Keisha was made aware, because Lily said that she said, I let them know that I was pregnant. So it wasn't that she let Jeremy know, it was a collective thing. So it sounds like that Lily always tried to, if this even makes sense, you guys, she tried to put into consideration that Keisha was involved. But I think Lily was coming from a place of, she said in her video that her and Jeremy always been friends. Like she said, I consider him my friend. So she felt like I had a baby with my friend. I understand my friend was in a relationship, but it sounds like Lily didn't put much onus in it, the relationship Keisha and Jeremy was in, because obviously Jeremy wasn't giving Lily that energy about the relationship he had with Keisha. Hence, the reason why he kept fooling with Lily, messing around with Lily, and a baby was born out of it. Now, we do know that Keisha was, you know, when she was made aware, she tried to make like she didn't know about the actual paternity of the baby. She was 7.5 months pregnant. It's when they had a blood test and found that Jeremy was truly the father of this child. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I personally feel that Keisha already knew that the baby was Jeremy, because Jeremy never doubted the paternity of the baby. Keisha felt like she needed paternity, but Jeremy didn't need it. And obviously Jeremy went along with it, because we already know, y'all, Keisha funds Jeremy's lifestyle. Now, I know a lot of you Key fans and Don fans, y'all not going to like that, but all you have to do is watch and see what's going on. And we know that Keisha basically orchestrated this whole thing. Keisha also said in her apology video that book was put on the back burner until they found out the paternity of the child. So we know now that when Keisha was pregnant with her last child, the book was already in the makings to be wrote. Keisha already knew that the baby was here, and there was a great possibility that it was Jeremy's baby. That's why Keisha came out with the book and trying to get ahead of the story. But we do know now that that book was an epic fail. That book that Keisha did basically just showed how obviously embarrassed she was, and she was trying to clean up a story that really didn't need to be cleaned up. Lily said in her video that she always tried to remain very low-key. She said that she was brought to the forefront. People sought her out. It was never her trying to be sought out. Lily also said that, you know, we know in the book and in the Q&A, Keisha and Jeremy tried to go along with this whole story of that Lily was a one-night stand. And she said in her video today, Jeremy, you know I was not a one-night stand.
Her apology video where she's stating that she asked me if I wanted a voice in this and the third. No, baby girl, you didn't. You didn't. You did not. Then talking about how I was asked if I wanted to be a part of, or how they were going to ask if I wanted to be a part of the Q&A, but then she decided that it was best that I didn't show up. Yeah, because you knew I wasn't going to go for the one night stand comment, baby. You knew that, like, what? Like, you knew that I wasn't going to go for the, oh, I'm very active in my son's life. And matter of fact, we both are, like, what?
And I think that's what hurt Lily the most. Because, again, you guys, Lily considered her and Jeremy as friends, right? Like she said, we had behind-the-scenes conversations. Her and Jeremy talked very in-depth. And on the advisement of Keisha, we know this now, on the advisement of Keisha, Keisha basically made Jeremy, or convinced Jeremy, to go along with the whole she was a one-night stand. Again, trying to further diminish Lily's quality. And at the end of the day, I'm gonna put it to you guys like this. Lily was fully aware of who Keisha was in Jeremy's life. Because again, if that was your friend, Lily, if Jeremy was your friend, you knew your friend had a woman that he was living with. But you continue to have a relationship with that man, however, whatever. And then Keisha finds out about it. Lily gets pregnant. And we already know how the story has been written since then. What Lily has to understand is, obviously, Keisha was going to be hurt. Like, sis, you played a part in this story. And I think Lily felt like because she was kind of like first, that she had more of a presence in Jeremy's life. And she was thinking this outside of social media. To sum this all up, all that really needed to happen was Keisha and Jeremy could have bypassed the whole Cue the Relations pamphlet and just allowed Lily, Keisha, and Jeremy to do the Q&A. Because from what it sounds like, from what Lily just stated, and also what Keisha stated in her apology video, Lily and Keisha were already on speaking terms. They already had an understanding with each other as far as what position everybody was playing in this whole plot. But Keisha, always trying to be portrayed as the smartest one in the bunch, basically got outsmarted by her own plan, because the book backfired on her. Because in this situation, Keisha and Jeremy were trying to tell a story that didn't just involve Keisha and Jeremy. They should have just went straight to the Q&A. Keisha should have been a woman, allowed Lily to come on the platform with her and Jeremy, considering you have already willingly accepted the fact that Lily is a part of your story and now the new baby is a part of the story. You should have just did the Q&A and since been bypassed. To me, you guys, with Keisha being money hungry and Jeremy as well, Keisha wanted to overcapitalize on this situation, which in turn diminishes her quality in this whole situation. At the end of the day, you guys, none of these folks won, you know, because Lily's feelings was hurt. Keisha's feelings were hurt. Obviously, Jeremy's feelings aren't hurt because Jeremy won out of all this. Y'all think about it. Jeremy is the big winner in his mind in all of this because he managed to have a baby with both of these women. He managed to still have somewhat of a relationship with both of these women. And he also managed to still stay with one of the women, and that's Keisha. So where did Jeremy lose? Jeremy didn't lose not an ounce of sleep, but Lily, she lost sleep because she birthed her child, brought her child into the world by herself. You know, Keisha had to deal with many nights crying because her man betrayed her, and Jeremy never lost an ounce of sleep. Y'all think about it. Women, when we go through situations like this, we are always the one hurting. Women are always the one hurt, and the men always come out smelling like a rose. And then you have situations like this where everybody trying to tell their side of the story. Now it seems like, based off Lily's conversation, Jeremy is mad that she's taking advantage of this situation and taking lemons and turning it into lemonade. Well, Jeremy, sir, you can't get mad at Lily for the same thing your woman over there doing. You and your woman, to be exact. Y'all took the situation of lemons and turned it into lemonade. And what makes her not? You know, at the end of the day, you have to always remember Keisha gave Lily the platform to speak. Because if Keisha would have just kept this under wraps, there would be no need for Lily to speak. Because Keisha came out with the story on top, trying to act like she was the scorned woman, not realizing everybody in the situation is hurting. And it's also, you guys, most importantly, a lot of times when we're dealing with adult issues, we forget about the children, right? The children are most definitely hurt in this situation because August more than likely might not be able to have a really stable relationship with his sisters and his sisters as well because their animosity. This, to me, y'all, it's going to always be some type of animosity towards these people. It's because they decided, Keisha and Jeremy decided to play their lives out on social media. And something is so intimate because when you think about it, this situation wasn't just you guys. It wasn't just Keisha. It wasn't just Jeremy. It wasn't just Lily. There was
4 kids also involved. And Keisha, you being the mastermind behind all this, did you forget about the 4 children that's involved? The situations that their parents put out here for them to always have to live. Like these kids, August is always going to be known as the oops baby, and how unfortunate, for that little boy. He didn't ask for any of this. And then the situation with the other, Jury, she's going to be always known as the revenge baby. A lot of people say Keisha got pregnant with Jury because she was being revengeful because she knew Lily was pregnant. So do y'all see how these 3 adults did not care about the situation that the kids, and I'm not going to put all the blame, I'm not going to put a lot of blame on Lily because I know Lily was just trying to play the part. Lily was just trying to go along with everything because she was trying to keep even ground. Like it sounded to me that Lily was trying to be fair and Keisha was the one trying to be unfair. She wasn't being reasonable. I will say that, you guys. I think Keisha wasn't trying to be reasonable, and understandable so, because it's a hard pill to swallow when you find out the man, your boyfriend, husband, whatever the situation is, has a baby outside of y'all relationship. Yeah, baby, it takes a minute for you to process that information. But once Keisha realized that she was going to stay in the relationship with Jeremy, then that's what you should have did. You should accept the fact that this woman is in existence, this child is in existence, and that book that you put out should have never been put out. You guys, we listen to Keisha a lot, always talk about the advisement of other people, like other people advises her. Well, obviously, whoever advised you to do that must be truly against you, because any normal, rational person would have known. Like Keisha, Jeremy, and Lily's situation is situations of millions of people out here. Keisha, just because Keisha has a large platform doesn't really mean, sis, that you had to put this situation, this whole trilogy situation with you ladies and Jeremy out here like that. Like, it really didn't constitute a book. Like, sis, because your story is being played out by millions of people on a daily basis. So now that Lily has spoke, now, if you don't know, there is another part of the chapter. There's Hazel. She's another bestie that has showed up. She's in defense of Lily. Hazel has spoke many times saying that she's going to tell her side of the story. And at this point, I don't understand what part that Hazel has other than you being supportive to your best friend, other than your best friend venting to you. But y'all, I'm going to be honest with you. Now that Lily has spoke, there's really nothing anybody else can say. We don't want to hear. We done heard from everybody, like I said before, except Jeremy's bestie. He hasn't spoke. Now, we understand that Hazel wants to throw her hat in the ring because she see how it has been profitable to her bestie. But at the end of the day, it should be profitable to Lily, because Lily has something to put into she has something invested in this situation like Jeremy and Keisha does. Hazel, Brittany, yeah, they didn't have anything invested. They just happened to be adversaries of this situation. But that's pretty much it. So we heard from Brittany. Brittany did talk. But Brittany already had an established platform out here. So we get it, okay? Me personally, Hazel, like, sis, you literally are just riding the coattail of your homegirl, because to me, I just think sis out here trying to promote her business. But if you really want to do that, like, sis, just promote your business. Yes, Lily is your homegirl, but that's really it. Like, there's really nothing to me personally that Hazel can really say that makes us feel more intrigued to know more, because especially now that Lily has spoke, I feel like the chapter has literally closed. You guys let me know what you think down below about the whole situation. I'm sorry for my voice, you guys, but I am under the weather right now, but I definitely will be back with more commentary. Please leave your thoughts down below. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. Also, make sure you thumbs me up, and I'll definitely see you guys in the next one. Remember, sub what you love. Bye-bye.